I will take this opportunity to call all governments, health organizations, MHOs, remote doctors. Please reach out to Carbon. You can find all the information on our website, and we will make sure that someone will contact you and see how we can help.
So let's just get first started, like with the first question. Like maybe you can elaborate a little bit about the last couple of weeks, like what happened in your startup in the last couple of weeks, and like how are you dealing with this whole new situation?
Okay, so for Carbon, I think also the last 2 weeks were pretty hectic. The last like the same as everyone in the world. So we kind of faced two different challenges. One is, the day to day. So we had to change like how we work. We have to work from home, to do everything remotely.
Yes.
This is one hand, and we have to kind of update everyone with the policies and make sure that we are stay healthy and safe, but still being efficient, effective, and executing according to the pipeline and the business needs. Mm-hmm. So this is one kind of challenge that we faced.
Yes.
The second one, which was interesting as well, is how we can leverage our existing deployed solutions in order to assist the fight against COVID-19. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of the second leg of our hectic last month, I would say.
Now, I mean, when you look at let's say the deployment of new solutions, how was that like going down like within the management team? I mean, like how was that decided what you should be focusing on? How were you like looking into different solutions and then made the ultimate decision like this is what we're going to try and help our current clients or maybe even new clients?
So since we are already heavily involved in the industry, for almost 6 years now, and we have so many different opinions and feedback from different customers all around the world, both in Israel, of course, but in other places as well. So it was kind of more simple for us to gather the needs and to interview the customers and understand what they need during the times of the COVID-19. Mm-hmm. So we gathered the need, the product team and the technical team worked together and presented all the needs and the time to market to develop each need, because you have some needs that might take 1 year to develop. The current situation with COVID-19, things are moving so fast.
Yes.
So you have to react really fast in small steps, but bring value as fast as possible. So we took everything into consideration, built the specs, the technical specs, the time to market, the business value, the use cases. And based on that, we kind of divided our solution into different steps. Step one is actually already live from 2 weeks ago. So we were able to deploy specific licenses for specific call takers who were designated by the call center to handle COVID-19 related calls. So that was the first step, using and leverage what we currently have. The second step, which actually is live from last week, is adding more and more classification features into the existing solution. So when a call taker is actually accepting a call, if he's speaking with someone who is suspicious to be a COVID-19 infected or has some symptoms or some kind of concerns, the call taker now is able to use our services, but ask a few questions. And based on the answers, he will classify the event as a corona event, as a suspicious to be corona event, a severe case, mild case. What are the further instructions? And using that, he can save all this information in the CRM, which provided by our solution in usual days as well, and can filter and screen and make decision based on the different levels, or whether it's classified or not classified as COVID-19 case, and where it's located as well. Mm-hmm. So he can have like a broad map view, and he can really understand what is the risk, what needs to be done, what is the prioritization right now, and what are the plans to do next. So this is like the step 2, which is already live from last week. And regarding step 2, we kind of, so many organizations and call centers and health organizations and governments contact Carbon in the last 2 to 3 weeks. And all of them kind of ask for the same solution. They're overwhelmed with so many calls in the call centers. They're overwhelmed with so many kind of different scenarios. Overwhelmed with so many different decisions they need to make.
Yes.
And at the same time, hospitals are worried because people come into the hospital worried about their health, but actually they can get some other people infected by coronavirus. It's better for them to stay home in many, many other cases. Mm-hmm. And we need to reduce the load on the hospitals.
Yes.
So the ecosystem that we operate at brought to us the need and we figure out what is the best way, and we execute it accordingly. Mm-hmm. That was the process from our side.
Yes. I mean, like, it's very interesting. I mean, like, these are very, very practical, like, solutions you were able to come up with in basically no time. But maybe you can elaborate a little bit on the operational strength necessary for pulling off such a thing. What was necessary, and like, what would you say was the key to this, let's say, successful deployment of these new solutions in such a short time?
So Carbon solution basically is kind of is providing an ecosystem for the future for call centers, which are mostly still involved with legacy systems, with systems from 50 to 60 years ago. Everything is on-prem. Part of the vision and mission of Carbine is to develop features and platforms which are deployed over the cloud. Everything is done remotely. So high majority of our solution, it's already suitable because you can update version on the spot because it's cloud. So if you want to push some new features, that's, for example, the COVID-19 features, you don't need to fly, you have travel restriction, you cannot visit and meet some people on the different call centers, so you can do it remotely. The fact that we already have a very established infrastructure of zero integration, remote installation, remote services, the reason that we already had that in place makes things much easier for us to provide the value quite fast to our customers. It was kind of a very good sync with our current structure that we work on.
Mm-hmm. No, but because, like, for me, I think, like, one of the things that I think is so super important, especially when you have like such a crisis, is that you have like a team that is already working well together before you maybe even go into this remote office spaces where people are not maybe interacting physically anymore, but they're interacting more over Zoom or over different ways. But it seems to me that, like, in your startup, the way, or in your company by now, it really is, the foundation was laid much early on. So like now you can really execute to your strength.
Yes, it's exactly correct, because the COVID-19 is a situation which is relevant to the public safety. It's relevant to our industry. It's relevant to make the call takers and first responders and dispatchers work more efficient. Mm-hmm. That's part of the vision and mission of Carbine as it is.
Yes.
So we already thought how we can leverage fast what we already have, what is already working, already deployed for many, many customers all around the globe. The question was how to leverage that very fast, and that's what we were able to do.
Now, when you look at a little bit more of a holistic approach and macroeconomics, from your perspective, how do you see this whole COVID-19? Is this more for you like kind of like the Armageddon of the world, or do you see it more as opportunistic, where like you feel like now this is your moment?
Our vision for Carbine is to save more lives by minimizing response time and maximizing emergency call centers work efficiency. Yep. So this is our vision. So we feel that in times like this, when there's turmoil in the world and where everyone are kind of worried about their health and about how they can provide the best services, it's great for to be synced with our vision. Mm-hmm. So I think what will be more interesting for Carbine is to understand and decide and think right now, this is what we do right now, how we can also support the world for the day after the COVID-19, okay? Because within 2 to 3 months, hopefully, we will have to gradually go back to normal, or what we think it's normal, right? Mm-hmm. It's not the same normal as we remember, but in order for us to do so, we would have to enhance solutions to identify different symptoms, to provide some information to the health organizations and responders, and to gradually enable the world to go back to some kind of a routine. So I think since our services are deployed and providing a lot of information, Carbine information is provided to the call centers only with the consent of a user. But with that, as we kind of more thinking to add more and more automated systems, bots and questions, we think that the data will be super important in the efforts for the world in the next 2 to 3 months to go back to normal. In one hand, we move very fast and we providing the quick solutions, as I described before. But at the same time, we always think about what will be needed after that. So it's not only a matter about if it's a great opportunity for Carbine or not, it's a great opportunity to think about the technology and how the technology can actually support the economy and health all over the world for everyone to get back gradually into normal life. So that's more interesting to us.
Mm-hmm. How would you see, let's say now, with this whole economical crisis around the world, that the government is supporting you as a company?
So I think the government and different organizations are all on the same boat. There's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of pressure. Decision makers need to make fast decisions. And when we're talking about governments, fast and government, it's kind of it's difficult to say it on the same sentence. They're also facing some pressure. From what we see from different places in the world, we see that there's some kind of recognition that technology can help. And there's some kind of recognition also that the decision needs to be done. So we feel that there's a lot of interest. Things are moving, not as fast as they can probably, but still we feel that there's some progress on that. And we see more and more readiness and openness from different governments to install our solution, to see how they can use the technology. And there's a lot of interest also to see what other customers of Carbon are already doing. So we have the most famous recently is New Orleans. New Orleans were infected by coronavirus, and the director of the 911, it was very, very super fast to react. And in fact, in one day, less than 5 hours since his first call to Carbine, we came and we deployed the solution. Wow. And most of it we did remotely. Okay, so it's not like we physically need to come and visit them. So you definitely see, even in a place like New Orleans, US, that fast decision can be made.
Yes. Now, when you look at your company again, and you would say if we could choose any type of help that would be beneficial for you right now, what would you pinpoint that this is kind of like the support we need right now? Anything that it might be.
We are based in Israel. And we're working these days with the Innovation Center of Israel, Innovation Authority, and the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Health, thinking together how the startup nation, all the tech companies and bright minds can help fighting the COVID-19. And there are plenty of ideas and plenty of solutions and great people, super talented. Everyone really, really want to help.
Yes.
At the same time, since we are still considered to be startups, it is more challenging in terms of the funding, in kind of the stability. So I think it's more about how countries can help to boost technology, in make bureaucratic procedures shorter, allocate more budgets into it, and support the efforts and bridge the gap between the uncertainty time that will take for 3 to 4 months and the need now. So in terms of the talent, the resources, the development resources, the product needs, we know what is done and we can execute it quite fast. Mm-hmm. We need more tolerance from the government and more readiness to be open to new companies from different places of the world and allocate the relevant budget to support that to their call centers.
Okay, very good. So if you have some more thoughts you wanted to share, or you feel like you would like to address, now is your time, or now your moment.
Okay. So I'll say what I said in many platforms, and what Amir Lichai, the CEO and one of the co-founders, is kind of saying again and again and again. I will take this opportunity to call all governments, health organizations, MHOs, remote doctors, doesn't matter where you're located at, please reach out to Carbine. You can find all the information on our website, plenty of information on LinkedIn, and we will make sure that someone will contact you and see how we can help. We can deploy our solution in less than 10 minutes, zero integration, and immediately share the insights from other customers in the US, in Mexico, in Brazil, in Israel, in some parts of Europe, in Philippines, how they're already effectively using Carbon solution to fight COVID-19. So we would really help. We're really happy to help those countries.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
I wish you all the best. And I've been watching from the sideline for the last couple of years. And send my regards to Amir if you can remember who I am. But thank you so much for taking the time, and stay safe and healthy.
Thank you. Hope to see you soon. Stay safe.